Hey man, I had a few stressful days, but we're back. And I want to talk about sexual discipline, specifically sexual discipline in a relationship, because that's a very important topic that nobody really talks about. Everyone talks about quitting porn, quitting masturbation, nofap, right? Maybe semen retention. And I've done all of that. I started watching pornography when I was around 13 and got my first smartphone. And I didn't think much of it. Everyone did it, right? So it was just normal, felt good. And then after a while, actually pretty much exactly when I got into my relationship with my girl, which is around 5.5 years ago, when I was 17, I started noticing that my sexual functions weren't there. I struggled with erections. I struggled with premature ejaculation. And after doing some research out of curiosity, I realized, pornography and masturbation and having too many orgasms through that might actually be the reason for that. So I quit pornography pretty much cold turkey, not completely, but I quit within a few months. And after that, masturbation still did it sometimes with like imagination, right? Without watching pornography. And over the years, pretty much also gave that up. I sometimes did something called conscious masturbation, which is more like a meditation than it is really about masturbation. And the goal of that is also not to ejaculate, not to orgasm. It's more to feel energy build up in your body, right? But I didn't do that much. And of course, in that relationship, had sex and also tried semen retention in the relationship. So while having sex, I didn't ejaculate. I didn't have ejaculatory orgasms, and quite interesting experiences with that, to be honest. Especially with semen retention, I really did notice myself becoming a lot more, first of all, confident, and then second of all, like confident as in the way of like my self-image improved, because I could control myself more, right? And then also I had that, what everyone talks about, more energy, right? More energy that I could put into other things, working out, business, all that stuff, right? Working. And now I'm in a phase in my relationship where we recently decided, I pitched this to my girl, that we should maybe try a month of celibacy. What I was interested in from my side with that, she had different reasons to do this, but I won't talk about that here because this is about men here. What my reasons were behind that was, first of all, gaining more control, even more control over my sexual urges, especially my orgasmic urges, if that's or like ejaculatory urges. Because both with porn and with masturbation and with sex, all three of those, the thing that I got addicted to in that sense wasn't necessarily porn, it wasn't masturbation, it also wasn't sex, it was really ejaculatory orgasms. That's what I got addicted to. So I wanted to take a step back from that as well right now, right? And it's gotten a lot better, obviously, even before trying celibacy, but I wanted to push it a little, right? Give myself a little challenge. And also, I wanted to see how the relationship will work without sex. How well I can make her feel loved and make her feel desired without sex, because that's also something I struggled with in the past. Complimenting her on her sexiness, on her radiance, while not having sex. While having sex, that is quite easy for me nowadays. it just feels natural, right? But while not having sex, it just felt awkward. So that's why I wanted to try this. And we've been doing celibacy for 2.5 weeks now. And I've experienced exactly that. I've experienced these, it's easy and it's hard at the same time. It's easy in the sense of, well, we've promised to each other that we're not gonna have sex for a month. So that's kind of easy to keep that promise, right? I can control myself, of course. What's not so easy is, like I said, making her feel loved, making her feel desired. But I will say that the sexual discipline really does help with that. It really does make it easier to be confident in those situations and to compliment her, because my self-image improved through this. Again, I think this was the biggest thing when I got like on NoFap like 5 years ago, right? Back then I used to call it NoFap, right? And when I started doing that, what improved by far the most was my self-image. How I see myself, how I perceive myself, how highly I think of myself. Same thing here. I think of myself a lot better since I started doing celibacy, just because I can actually see, you know, I can control myself and I can not fall into these urges that I have, that every man, every human maybe even has, right? Now, what's very interesting about this is I did notice, like I said, my self-image improving, me gaining more respect for myself. What I also noticed is my girl gained more respect for me through that. Maybe because I gained more respect for myself, maybe because she's like, oh, he can actually control himself. Interesting. Don't know. Now, besides that, what I did notice is my ability to compliment her. How I would usually compliment her during sex. Complimenting her in the same ways while not making love really have improved. And what I also noticed is it's a lot harder, like I said, to compliment her. It's also a lot harder to get the energy that I usually get from her. This radiant, this free energy. Her just jumping around and dancing and singing and just being goofy and being happy, right? I haven't gotten that so much. She hasn't been in that energy so much, which is interesting. And to be honest, I didn't really expect that. I did expect that our relationship would, like, that's why I did this, right? To build a stronger bond to each other without this component of making love. But I didn't expect it to be so harsh, to be honest. It is really challenging. I'll be completely honest. But what I've also noticed is, and this is something I read about actually quite recently, is the energy of places, right? Or the energy of other things like places, for example. How when the masculine, and I don't like this thinking of like masculine, feminine, this like black and white thinking, to be honest. I want to get away from that more and more, but just for the sake of explaining it here, the masculine needs feminine energy to feel complete, to feel whole. And when we have a woman that gives us, or any person that gives us this feminine energy, then we don't need to seek it in other things. What I have noticed recently is, since we started doing celibacy, I haven't gotten that energy from her as much. And because of that, I have actually started seeking this energy in different things. I started watching movies again, which I love watching movies, and I don't watch YouTube or something anymore, really. I'm not on social media at all, pretty much. But what I did notice is I started watching movies. I started seeking more of nature. I sat outside more. I started looking at birds more. Just all this like natural. There's a reason why Mother Earth is called Mother Earth, right? Because and Mother Nature, because nature, Earth, those give us feminine energy. Those are the feminine, pretty much, right? And so I started seeing myself in this book I read. It's kind of described as like cheating on your partner with a place, with like getting the feminine energy from your woman that you usually get from your woman, when you don't get that from her, getting it from a place or from an activity. You can see this in men who then go fishing or hunting or do some other outdoor activity, or who start drinking or partying a lot. All that kind of stuff, right? That's feminine energy that they get from that. And that's why they do it. And I did see myself doing that more and more, which is interesting. But now, after seeing that happen, I have also seen that it gets better, that I am getting more and more capable of giving my girl the energy she needs from me without getting her energy at first. Because once I do that, then once I stay open and keep an open heart and give her that energy that she needs from me, then she opens, and then she gives me the energy that I need from her. I just need to take the first step and not indulge and like cheat on her with places, with nature, that kind of stuff, right? Not get that energy from other places, but not get it at all, and then still stay open and still give her that energy to then again get it from her, right? Now, honestly, I do recommend that you try something like this. Whether that depends on which stage you're at, right? If you're still watching pornography, stop that. Try to get off of that as soon as possible. If you're still masturbating, same thing here. If it's done for going deeper within yourself with like conscious masturbation and not ejaculating, then I'd say, okay, do that. But if it's done to ejaculate, I don't think that's too healthy, as long as it's like, it can be done in healthy ways if it's done like not daily or not like 5 times a week, but like once a month, right? I think that's completely healthy. But the thing is, so many people talk about, oh yeah, no, we need to ejaculate, we need to orgasm, right? Because that's healthy for our bodies. I'll be completely honest. When I do semen retention, when I do not orgasm, when I do not have an ejaculatory orgasm regularly, my body gets rid of my semen anyway. I have wet dreams, and that's a completely natural way of your body just getting rid of that built up sexual energy right inside of you and balancing out your energy more. So I don't think you need to masturbate or even have sex to have healthy sexual bodily functions. And if you are already at the stage where you're in a relationship and you want to try semen retention, do it. Just have sex, but don't ejaculate during sex. See how that works for you. And if you're already as far as I am, and you want to try semen retention, you want to try celibacy in a relationship, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Explain to your girl why you want to do this, and be honest about that. Be honest about the fact that you just want to grow deeper in the relationship. You want to test yourself. You want to challenge yourself. And don't come up with some stupid reasons for why you want to try this, right? That's just what I'm saying. Just be honest. Your girl can see why you want to do something anyway. She can see right through you if you're trying to lie about something, right? And besides that, if you want to try something like this, especially when it's with a woman, but also with porn, with the world in general, right? Mother Earth again here, right? The feminine will always test you, whether that's your woman or the world, which could be porn, which could be in general your urges, right? The world will challenge you. Your woman will challenge you. My girl challenges me during celibacy. And I won't tell you in which ways, but I think you can imagine, right? And I need to stay strong, because I promised to myself and to her, to us, that I would do 1 month of celibacy. And she challenges me. And we sleep in the same bed. Sometimes, not every night. We still live in different houses, but we still sleep in the same bed sometimes. And of course that causes me to have sexual energy build up in myself, get horny, all that stuff, right? Realize that will always be the case. It's just a little heads up from me, whether that's with porn or with masturbation, semen retention, conscious masturbation. When you do that, you'll feel the urge to ejaculate, even though you didn't plan on ejaculating. and also with celibacy. A woman will especially challenge you. Besides that, if you want to learn more about how I got to this point where I'm so sexually disciplined and where I want to go even deeper, if you want to learn more about that, I'm running a free community. It's a place where men come together to improve their romantic relationship. And man, it's been really valuable to see all the guys sharing their lessons there. I'm posting on there almost daily. You can ask me questions, all that stuff. It's literally just a platform for us to improve our romantic relationships, because those spaces for men are needed nowadays. I'm not one of these guys who says, oh no, men's rights get taken away and all this stuff, because that's bullshit. Let's be honest here. But men need other men to talk about stuff like this. And it's really healthy for us men to have a group, a community, a tribe with which we can talk about stuff like this, and with we can be open. There's so many really open and vulnerable people in this community that really share their honest struggles, and that's beautiful to see, man. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. I'll see you in there, and I hope that you gain further knowledge and further progress on this journey of sexual discipline. It is a journey that's well worthwhile taking. It's benefited my life immensely, my relationship probably even more. So yeah, man, I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. See you.